Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, Bitcoin Ben, here for the daily. What in the hell is going on in cryptos and in the world? Guys and gals, it's here. This is what revolution looks like. This is what happens when you have 120 years of a slow, gradual, progressive takeover of a country. This is what they wrote about in the Cloward and Piven papers. This is what Barack Hussein Obama planned for. This is what this was all leading to. This is what the Federal Reserve was for. The system after the Civil War was created to slowly reconstruct America into a self-destructive system. That's where we're at now. And we have examples of this, guys. This is what's going on right now is exactly what happened with Abraham Lincoln. We're reaching a point where the Republicans, the Democrats, there is no meat in the middle anymore. And really there shouldn't be, because this union we've all worked for, this union we've all grown up in, this is an artificial union. Do you think Illinois and Missouri are really aligned at all? And from the federal government point of view, if we did not have a federal government, if we did not have this union, and only Illinois was Illinois, Missouri was Missouri, California was California, if the federal government was what it was originally supposed to be, we would not have these issues. The problem is we have California, Illinois, all of these communistically led states, and you can't argue it. You can't argue and say, well, California's not really communist. Yes, it is. You can say, well, it's socialist. Socialism is the road that you go down to hit communism. That's the road you go down. It's the elimination of private property. And look what's going on in California, right? We are now in a place where half of America doesn't care, doesn't respect private property. They don't respect America as a sovereign country. See, all you hear is, democracy, Trump's he's killing democracy. Trump was democratically elected president through the vote. And they're yelling, well, the vote didn't go our way, so Trump's taken out the democracy. When what they really mean is government, or Trump is taking out government, taking the authority away from the government. And that's a good thing. See, government is the problem. When you're overregulated in anything in life, if everything you do is just nitpicked and just, oh, why'd you do that? Why'd you turn right? Why'd you turn left? Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? When you're overregulated in everything you do, you reach a point where you just quit moving, where you quit doing anything, because you don't know who's going to attack you. You don't know who's going to call you this name or that name, or you're racist, you're homophobic, you're this, you're that, you're that, you're this. And you reach a point that you just freeze. You're like, I have no idea what to do, because you're living off of someone else's expectations. We, American citizens, are living inside the government's expectations of us, instead of the other way around. The government should live under our expectations. That's why we have a constitution that restricts, all right, that restricts the federal government, because you are a sovereign individual. You make your own choices. One of the reasons we have our clubs and the resorts and the credit union, and because we need a new system. This is what this is all about, guys. This is what Trump's trying to change. He's trying to create a new system for the old system and all of the Americans who move into. That's what we're building. And listen, we don't want to go back to an America that were ran by elites, that we're just renters. See, the little secret is everyone has their 401ks. Everyone's got their little 401ks, and they look on the website and they're paper rich or they're horseshit rich. Try and receive the documents showing you own that stock. Try and get the original stock certificate. You can't. You all know why. Because it's derivatized. I think that's a word. It is in the shape of a derivative, and it's claimed several different places. This is why we have to change the system. That's why the blockchain technology is so important. That's why Trump is trying to move us into a blockchain digital proof of ownership. Get rid of rehypothecation, get rid of fucking derivatives, get rid of all that. Because it's fake. It's all just fake. There's nothing in our country that is real anymore. Nothing. The news is fake. The government is not on our side. Trump, the leadership of the government right now, and I use that word leadership very loosely, because they're barely hanging on to this because the bureaucracy is at war with the White House. This is what happened with Abraham Lincoln. Let's talk about the church in Minnesota. I watched it last night. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, please, Lord, let me be missing something. Let me not have seen something. Let me watching that. Please let me be out of context on what's going on in this little church. The more I looked into it, no. There was a huge gathering of leftists that went into a church during an event at the church, and they were hunting an ICE officer who apparently went to that church. They were looking for an ICE agent that went to the church. So this huge crowd of people show up and they go into the church and they're yelling and they're chanting and they're just being abusive in a church. Look, if you want to protest outside of the church and say you have an ICE agent in there that works at this church, that's fine. That's fine. Protest. All freedom of speech, man. I'm all for it. But when you enter, when you enter a church and there are people in there worshiping their God, and you come in and you scare the hell out of everybody. Now, they chose that church, and I'll tell you why. The church I used to go to here in Arnold, they encouraged you to conceal and carry. I remember sitting in church and seeing a bunch of guys with their guns. You could see it under their shirt or in their jacket or whatever like that. You think that someone's going to march in on that church? No. We had volunteers at the church that would work as security for the church. And these are ex-military guys. And a few of them were officers, I think. This year is going to be amazing, and it's going to be frightening. What I want everyone to realize is that this year is not going to be like anything we've ever seen before. We here in America, we have lived a blessed life. World War I never hit our shores. World War II hit Hawaii, but never hit our shores. We have never, none of us know what a civil war looks like. None of us know what a civil war economically looks like. And we are now in, all right, we are now in the place where we have a choice. All right. We have a choice. It's very simple. We either hold to what America was founded, the Constitution, and that means we have to go back to it. Because we're not at the Constitution right now. We are so beyond the Constitution. The Federal Reserve is against the Constitution. But yet we act like it's normal. No big deal. Yeah, no big deal. We live in a country that no longer respects private property. There's no such thing as private property anymore. If the government wants it, the government takes it. That's not America. That is not what we were. We have a choice. Are we going to reclaim and make America great again? I say make America free again, or liberate America again, because we're in the same situation that we were in 1770, 1775. It's just this time the bureaucracy, because that's who we went to war with. The Revolutionary War, everyone blames the king. We were up against the king. No, you weren't. No, we weren't. We were up against the bureaucracy of the system of the king. That's who we were up against. Not the king, the bureaucracy. The leeches that leached off the system of the royalty. And we're in the same place, except this time the bureaucracy we're at war against is now inside the country. It's the Washington, D.C. bureaucracy. It's the Minnesota bureaucracy. It's everyone who gets a paycheck from the government. If you get a check from the government, they consider you as an asset. Because, like my grandfather used to say, he who feeds you controls you. That's just the way it is. And guys, we've lived through so much. We've lived through so much that we haven't, and we're still so close to it that we haven't even realized what we've gone through yet. All right. Remember after World War II, the Nuremberg trials? Well, while all of the events that they were prosecuted for was happening, no one said, "Oh, we're having a Nuremberg event." No. Right? World War I wasn't called World War I when it was originally launched, because wars are planned. Wars are planned way ahead. We have to fix our country. That means you. That means me. That means everyone involved in cryptos and freedom and liberty. We have to work together to build a new system. Because if we don't, BlackRock takes over the system. And then we're just in a digital prison. We have to have a government of the people that respects individual sovereignty, individual freedom. We have elected officials who are swearing their oath to the Constitution on a copy of the Quran. The Quran tells them to lie in order to get into political power. Like it or hate it, folks, we are in a hell of a place. But don't be fearful. You chose to live this life. You may not know it yet, but you did. I chose to live this life. We all chose to live this life. We're all needed at this moment, at this time. Because just like Ronald Reagan said, we are just one generation away from slavery. Because slavery, modern day slavery, doesn't involve chains. It involves lawfare. It involves going after someone online. It involves ruining people's reputations. Whatever. It's censorship. It's the government. This is the whole issue, folks, is that we now live in a world where the government, the bureaucracy, let me put it that way, the bureaucracy of America is at war with the bureaucracy of Great Britain. The bureaucracy of America is at war with the bureaucracy of California. I got bad news, guys. We're going to lose California. And I don't mean lose an election. We're going to lose California. Did anyone happen to read how the mayor of New York, I'm sorry, the ex-mayor of New York launched a cryptocurrency called New York Coin? This is going to be wild, guys. This is going to be wild because let me ask you this. Does anybody see anybody saying, hey, let's bring this down a little bit? No. The sides have chosen. There are very clear sides now. You have the liberty side and you have the communist side. One of these sides are going to win. This is where we're at right now. I mean, and look at the world in home. Look what's going on with the Japanese, I think it's the 30-year bond. Look at the American 30-year bond. These are blowing out. We have Trump over at Davos. His whole friggin' team is basically nuking Davos. They're basically telling Davos, you guys are done. You're done. And the people at Davos, they know he's right. That's why we have Canada trying to kiss China's ass. That's what's going on right now. All right. We have, anyone notice how Russia's pretty fucking quiet right now? Anyone notice how China's kind of quiet right now? They know what's coming. They know this is where this is the year Trump hits back. Last year was set up the chess pieces. This year is attack. And it's going to be relentless. Do you think Trump is going to give up? Do you think that Trump and his group are going to go, hell, we gave it a try? No. And I'll tell you why, folks. This is it for Trump. This is it for his family. Think about this. Let's say that the Republicans lose in 2028. All right. How long do you think that the Trump family, how long do you think it's going to take for them to go after the Trump family? Not long. They've already arrested Trump once, and they've charged him with everything else out there. We are it, guys. And when I say we, I mean we. Everyone listening. Everyone's worried about money. Guys, the money's done. The money is done. The Fed, I think this maybe today, they're injecting hundreds of billions of dollars. The federal or the Treasury just said while he was over in Davos that they'll probably help out the Japanese yen, their bonds. That means a currency swap. That's printing money, just in a different name. This is Every fiat currency is a rat, and they're all on a sinking ship. And everyone's trying to get as much fiat, as many of those little rats. Yeah, it's this is sad. Yes, it's good I got bankrupted for refusing the jab. I won't come back from that under this system. Exactly. Guys, the whole country is bankrupt. The whole world is bankrupt. That's what I'm saying. We are going through the bankruptcy. We just don't recognize it as a bankruptcy. The dollar is bankrupt. The treasury bonds are bankrupt. The system is bankrupt. And everyone in Washington knows it. The Democrats know it. The Republicans know it. Everyone knows it. Why do you think that the Democrats aren't worried about all of the fraud? Why do you think that the Democrats are like, oh, it's only a few $1 billion? Because they know. They know the system's done. Think of the money printer. Think of the federal government as just having credit cards that print money. If you know you're going bankrupt and you have a line of credit, why wouldn't you just go out and fucking buy a bunch of shit? Or use what little credit you have to set up a revolution. Set up the system of NGOs, set up the system of the Tides Foundation, set up this whole across America. Guys, remember, they weren't just letting illegal aliens in. They weren't just letting illegal aliens in. They were shipping them to certain areas of the country. They were placing them in certain areas, right? All over the country. This is a great freaking question. Hey, Bitcoin Ben, how are you hedging against a possible black swan event? Brother, we are in the black swan event. The sky is filled with black swans. That's all we got. Does anyone see a white swan? Does anyone see anything that would be recognized as normal? Like, where's the flock of white swans? I don't see any white swans. I don't see any normal. I don't see any movement towards a real resolution. Because, guys, there is no resolution to this except to build another system while it's collapsing. That's what we've been doing. That's what we have been trying to do. We have to have another system, because when this system drops, and it's dropping fast, we have to have some place, some system that we can use. And we are responsible for creating the system. Guys, if we don't create the system, what's the problem we're having with the Clarity Act? The old system doesn't want doesn't want the new system to have the same products as they have, because they say that Kraken, Coinbase, us, everyone who's running a business inside of the crypto ecosystem, that we're a threat. We are a threat to the old system. That's what they said. They literally said, if these platforms are allowed to pay rewards or interest on holdings, that it will remove $6 to $7 trillion out of the banking system. So, because they can't compete. They cannot compete with a digital system. The SWIFT system is basically email with maybe a fax machine or two. Oh, hang on one second. Word from the sponsor.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
Whether we like it or not, we have to create the new system. This is exactly what happened right after the Civil War, when there was an election, and the big argument was, I think it was the election of 1888. I think. The election, it all ran off, should we go with gold, which was the money of the elites, or should we go with silver, which is the money of the people? The bankers all wanted gold. The average Joes wanted a system, because remember, guys, the Civil War wiped us out. They reconstructed America. And they, the government people, were arguing amongst themselves, should we go with gold or should we go with silver? And the bankers wanted gold, because gold is the elite's money. Always has been. Always has been. But there's issues with silver and gold. Now, not saying they're bad. They're good. They are. I'm all for whatever. I own silver. All right. The thing is, we're moving into a technological renaissance. When does anyone remember life before text? I do. Do you remember when, if you weren't at home, no one could get a hold of you? See, the issue now is that everyone can get a hold of everybody. And because of how we're programmed to want to solve problems. We're programmed for information collection, of our environment. Now, this is our environment. This is included in our environment. Remember our grandparents, or maybe your mom, maybe your dad would say, hey, don't watch too much fucking TV. That shit'll rot your brain. Yeah. This will rot your brain. Watching the news will rot your brain. Going on X will rot your brain. Because you're bringing outside opinions. You're bringing outside point of views into your reality. And your brain is naturally formulating it as truth because it sees it. We are in an environment of influence all the time. All the time. You know who has it right? The Amish. The Amish have it right. They recognize it. They're like, yeah, fuck that shit. We live in a world that is in the process of losing its mind. And this is not a bad thing. I don't want to make it sound like this is a bad thing. This is necessary. This is the cleansing. This is the revelations of our time. We hear some people say it's the end of time. It's revelations. Yes, the revealing. We need this. We all need this. Every single one of us need this revolution, this, because we've lived in an illusion for so long. We've lived a lie for so long that this is America. This is the land of the free and the home of the brave. They've been sending us to war since World War I, since the Civil War. We have been at war. We've had less years of no war than we've had of war. We've had more years at war in America than we've had not at war. And it wasn't us, guys. It wasn't us. It was the governments that went to war. It was, during World War I and World War II, it was a group of elites trying to influence another group of elites. That's all it is. We, the average people, we have been used and abused and raped and fucking pillaged, and because they don't care about us. All they care about is their system. As long as their system's up and running, they're good. I guarantee you there's no one at Wall Street right now worrying about how they're going to feed their family. There's no one in Washington. There's no one who works for the government up in Washington, D.C., who's worried about making their rent payment. And like I said while I was there, Washington, D.C. doesn't produce anything. There's not a Ford plant in Washington, D.C. They don't make sneakers. They don't make jackets. They don't make jack shit. But yet, Washington, D.C. is one of the richest places in America. How the hell does that make sense to anybody? The people who manage our affairs are the richest people in the country per capita. The average government employee makes more than its private sector counterpart. That's what, and there's no GDP. See, for some reason, they count government employment towards the GDP. The people that we are paying money to, they say that helps GDP. What product are they selling? Well, they're not selling, they're getting paid. Right? That's a debt. That's a liability to the government. That is not an asset to the country. A GDP is gross domestic production. Labor is not a product that is produced. Labor is an action that produces production. But they say, nope. We pay them, that increases GDP. That's like if you have a maid, but she doesn't clean the house, and you say, well, I pay her, but my house don't get cleaned. So is she productive? Oh yeah, I pay her. But is your house clean? No. Then she's not productive. No. But you pay her, so we should count that as productive. Oh, absolutely. Productivity right there. No, that's monetary exchange. And this house of cards is coming down, guys. Guys, when was the last time that you saw, be honest, when was the last time you saw a group of protesters go into a church and yell and scream and say, racist, you Nazis, you racist, you Nazis, into a church in America? Yeah. Does anyone think this is going to get better? No. But I want to end on a positive note. We need this. We need to make a choice. We as Americans need to make a choice. Are we free people? Are we American citizens free people? Because guys, we cannot just slightly roll this back. We cannot kick the can anymore. The can has been kicked to death. The can no longer exists. We're in the middle of a social revolution and a financial revolution, because our society as it is constructed is crumbling. Our national society is crumbling. The union is crumbling, but it needs to crumble because everything that it is set on is not good. You cannot have a country like America that claims that we love freedom, we love liberty, we love all this, but we're going to let the federal government basically take any property we have. We're going to let California tax unrealized capital gains in a wealth tax. And this is all going to work out. This is all going to work out. And we will have our new system. This is the new system being born. This is the growing pains of the new system. Did you think that the old system would just let us roll out our new digital liberty system and that everything would be fine and they wouldn't notice and they just kind of let it evolve and out compete them? Because that's what JP Morgan is complaining about up in Washington, D.C. with the Clarity Act. They're complaining that they'll have competition. This is they are trying to save themselves. And they're not worried about the money. They're worried about the power. Because they don't care if the money goes down. As long as their bureaucracy, the system's structure remains. They can launch another currency. That's no problem. Fuck the dollar. The dollar can die as long as we retain our grasp on the bureaucracy. That's what they want. Like I said, they don't care about the dollar. They just want to hold on to the reins of power of the bureaucracy and keep the bureaucracy alive. Because that's their whole world. These are not producers. These are a politician is not an entrepreneur, but an entrepreneur can be a politician. But not every politician can be an entrepreneur, which means they build. See, the laws were not made for us. They were made to go against us. I mean, we see it. When was the last time someone in Washington, D.C. of significance in the bureaucracy was arrested? We know there's fraud. My God, we know there's some fraud. But no one's been arrested. They're kind of like, well, you know, that could be that could be a national security issue. Because their idea of national security is securing the system. Well, that could make people lose faith in the system. Yeah, because the system sucks. Of course, we're losing the faith in the system when the system has led to this. And we don't have to legislate a new system. We don't need laws to create the new system. The laws are the opposite of what we want to create. But we have to play the game that right now we're in the middle of the split of the two systems. The guy up in Canada, I think it was, Carney. He was over in China, and I guarantee the Chinese were laughing when he said this, that Canada and China, we can have a new world order. Brother, 1989 called, or I'm sorry, 1990 called, they want their propaganda back. That new world order shit don't play no more. And China's laughing at you because Canada, you got no leverage. You got nothing to offer China. So you're going to let China sell Chinese cars into your country? That's your fucking answer? So surrendering is your answer. Totally destroying your economy. Do you think that America is going to let you get chummy with China at our northern border? You done lost your fucking mind. Trump's going after Greenland. And to tell you the truth, I think he's going to go after Canada too. And he'll get it. He will get it. We are the new system. See, we are not the new world order. We don't want to be the new world order. We want decentralized systems. That's what we want. We want to make America great again. We want to decentralize the system. Yep. Here we go. A Turning Point USA event just got canceled for February 1st due to threats up here in Massachusetts at a VFW from a group called Individual. You know what the hell I'm trying to say. That's a hard word for me to say. Yeah, those are the same people who gave me trouble when I had an event up at my club in Massachusetts. They were outside protesting, and I went out there and talked to them. Yes, I walked out and I talked to the protesters. It was me and Ed. We walked out, and as the guys are leaving, one of them looks, I swear to God, you can ask Ed, one of them looks at me and says, well, if anyone asks, I will say that you're kind of a nice guy, but you're still a fascist. No, you're still a bigot. You're still a bigot. And then I'm like, but I'm a nice bigot. Okay, that makes no fucking sense. But okay. These people have no idea. They're getting paid. They're getting paid to protest. This is a part-time job where they get to be what they naturally are. They're just angry. Okay, everyone, have a great day. And please, if you're interested in confidential purchases of Bitcoin, give us a call or send us a text. 941-413-8080. Confidential purchases of cryptos through our clubs. Everyone, And we have loans. We can get you a loan. We can get you a loan. We can get you some Bitcoin. Hell, and this is for old people. Hell, and if you act now, we can probably get the car. That's off of In Living Color. Great show. All right, everyone, have a great day. Please hit the like and subscribe on whatever platform you are watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow for a show. Great. Yes, we offer refinancing for your house to get you more Bitcoin. Absolutely. Hit the like and subscribe, and give us a call or send us a text. 941-413-8080. Everyone have a wonderful day. I will see you guys tomorrow morning.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.